7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hey there guys, so I'm back with episode 2 or series 2 of Dino The Festival. And yet again, it's another really good episode from this 11 episode part that we're getting from Netflix. Now the episode starts off with Wreckmate. He comes back and it's very interesting because when you see him in series 1, he's kind of just written as like a one-off monster of the week, but here he's kind of like one of the generals of the series now for some reason. And he inquires a potion from Slyther that makes him super strong. Meanwhile, Sato and Ivan get gifts from the other Rangers because from their home planet, Ravcon, apparently today is Ravcon Triple Sun Festival, which is kind of like their Christmas to them. They get gifts. Ivan gets a motorcycle. And Sato gets a new weapon called the Dino Chucks, which are basically nunchucks with T-Rex heads at the end of each stick, which was pretty cool. Unfortunately, when the Rangers leave, Ivan starts mucking around with it and damages it. So later on, there's a monster attack by Wreckmate, and Wreckmate is completely destroying the Rangers because he gets his super potion. And Sato has no choice but to call on the Dino Chucks, and it was great to see the get to see nunchucks again. The last time we saw nunchucks was basically like Jungle Fury, and it was pretty cool. Unfortunately, it backfires because they get damaged, and later on, Ivan and Sato have to find a new weapon because the other Rangers are badly hurt, and Ivan admits that, oh, I actually broke the Dino, I messed around with the Dino Chucks and got them damaged. They tried to fix it, but at that point it's beyond repair. So whilst Ivan was mucking around with the Dino Chucks, all the spare parts to other weapons are destroyed as well. So they have to go through the Ranger library to make a new weapon, which was really cool. I like the fact that these teams like Beast Morphers have the Ranger library. So when they're in a certain situation, like if there's a certain monster that has been in Power Rangers before, they could look it up and look at the weaknesses and how did the other Rangers come over that. That's great. I think I've said that before in a previous video. I can't remember whether it was like Dino Fury or Beast Morphers, but that's pretty cool. So they go for like the Fire Smasher from Samurai, the Sonar Fin from Ninja Storm. There's some really good stuff in this, and they realise actually all the Rangers had motorcycles. Let's make our own motorcycle. And yeah, we get to see some really cool clips, and that was we get to see the bikes from like the Mighty Morphin era and Wild Force, which was really cool. Unfortunately, they don't have the parts for it, but Ivan gives up his motorcycle, and we finally get to see the new weapon, the Dino Fury Cycle. Look, I have some issues with that, and not really big issues. So the design wise is fine. It's really cool. It kind of reminds me of the motorcycle from Lost Galaxy. I kind of like that kind of like big bulky motorcycle. Design wise is fine. Two issues I have with it. For one, I kind of miss the fact that each Ranger has their own motorcycle, not just one Ranger. That kind of a bit annoyed me because I feel like maybe it's a budget issue. Each Ranger has to share a motorcycle, which sucks. And also, there's some really cool action scenes we get to see from the Dino Fury Cycle, but the issue is that most of it is CGI. I mean, there's only like one shot you get to see the cycle in action, and you only get to see the back of it. So I wish we got to see a bit more practicality with that. But yeah, it's a really cool toy to sell for kids. But so later on, the Rangers eat cake and they eat it like animals because they don't use their hands. Okay, whatever. Overall, the festival yet again was a pretty good episode. Not as good as the previous episode, Numero Uno, but I enjoyed this episode for what it is. So I gotta give this a 3 out of 5. My issue is I love the Dino Chucks. I love the design, and I've watched all the other episodes later on, and I can't believe they were just written as like a one-off thing. I think they looked really cool. I like to see nunchucks again in Power Rangers, but no, that was just a plot device. And the Dino Fury Cycle, I would have loved to see a bit more a practical effect with it. But yeah, I think There were some issues, but I think this was another solid episode.